All right, so here's what my phone is full of, and I'm sure yours is probably the same. I have notifications for an incoming recession, bank collapse, aggressive Fed rate hikes after Fed rate hikes, prediction after prediction for declining home values. And yet, the San Diego housing market continues to stay strong. There's no doubt there are some valid concerns in this mix, and let us know in the comments below what you are most concerned about. But here's what all these analysts are missing. My name is Dan Parker with the Best Life Home Team, your San Diego real estate resource. And lately, watching home values kind of reminds me of the Rocky Balboa movies. Seemingly against all odds and in face of incredible adversity, home prices and sellers continue to end up on top. All right, let's do a quick recap of where we're at this point. What's happened over the last year? So between last May and today in San Diego County, home values have decreased around 10%, which has led to a plethora of articles about the doom and gloom of the San Diego market. But if you look year over year, now between a year ago, values have dropped only about 4% total. And in some neighborhoods, significantly less than that. And what's even more interesting than that is if you look at San Diego County data from January to February, you will see that home values have increased by almost $50,000, over 5%. Now, the reason for that is simple. When you're looking at the market in total, when you're looking at closed sales statistics, you're a month behind. If you're looking at the homes that closed in January, that means homes that accepted an offer in December. And of course, May through December's the slowest month out of the year, we saw prices declining. But when we started the beginning of the year, home values started to rocket up. Buyers were sitting on the sidelines, jump back into the market. And I'm going to explain all this, why it's happening, and what we can predict moving forward. Now, the first reason is the comparison of supply of homes and demand of homes. So how many homes are for sale versus how many active buyers are out there. And if you watch this channel before, you know I talk over and over again about the crux issue of why home prices have not decreased dramatically here in San Diego is the inventory or the amount of homes for sale. For there to be a crash or a fire sale here in San Diego County, we need over 10,000 homes for sale. And today we're under 2,000 homes for sale and decreasing. That's right, at the time of year, the spring market, where the quantity of homes for sale should be steadily increasing up until summertime, up until May and June, we're actually seeing the quantity of homes for sale decreasing. That is not a good sign. And at the same time, buyer demand is increasing. So take a look at this slide here that shows you the San Diego County listing inventory versus demand, exactly what I was talking about. This is going back all the way to 2012. And we can see here is in the dark blue, that's going to be the demand. The light blue is going to be the inventory. Now, a neutral market, a normal market, you should have significantly more inventory than you have active buyers out there. But as you can see on the right over here, at the beginning of COVID, we had this mass run for houses. A lot of people were out there looking for houses and not very many homes for sale, which is why we had 20% median home value increase a year over year, 2 years running. Now, over the last 6 months or so, we've seen things start to slow down. Inventory start to increase a little bit compared to demand. And if you actually look right here, if I can kind of zoom in a little bit, if you look right here, you can see exactly what's happening. The demand and the supply are starting to catch up. They're starting to merge. They're getting very dangerously close to one another. And what that's going to do is that's going to continue on with the market that we're seeing today. And one of the metrics that you can use that actually helps you compare demand versus supply is if you look at the median days on market. How many days before a home goes under contract? Now keep this in mind, even if you have a ton of interest immediately, it's still going to take at least a couple of days to get an accepted offer. So right now, if we're looking at this statistic in San Diego County, median days on market, we aren't quite where we were back in February, March, and April of last year because that market was absolutely bonkers. 6 days median days on market is absolutely crazy, but you can see it steadily increased to 24 days in January. Again, that's looking at December statistics because it's a month delayed on closed sales statistics. But when you come into February, it completely dropped down to 16. 16 days on market is very, very low. And when we're looking at this as a whole, this is going to have a massive effect on what we're seeing moving forward into the summer markets. So you're probably wondering, now, Dan, where the heck is this demand coming from? I mean, how can all these people afford to buy a house here in San Diego with mortgage interest rates, 6.5% to 7%? And the reality is there will always be people that can afford the homes that are out there, but the highest percentage of buyers are out there because of necessity. So you look at kind of the 4 Ds. You have diapers, diamonds, divorce, and people that are determined to relocate. Okay, I cheated on that last one a little bit, but think of it this way. If people are increasing the size of their family, if they're having kids, if they are getting married, if they're getting divorced, or they need to relocate for a job, for family, for whatever reason, these people are closer towards a necessity to want to buy a house. So every market has a percentage of people that have a necessity to purchase a house. And what's happening in this market is it's a much higher percentage of people that are buying out of necessity. People that are buying because they want to buy and because they have less motivation, those are the ones that are sitting on the sidelines for the most part today. Right now, we're seeing the people that have a necessity to buy homes because inventory is so low that demand is still pretty low, even though it's starting to increase as it always does this time of year. And a majority of that demand is going to be these people that I'm talking about right here. And that's exactly why we're seeing multiple offers. We're seeing a lot of foot traffic at open houses, a lot of showings. We're seeing all that again, even though there's not a ton of demand. Compared to the supply, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of interest in the homes that are for sale. Now, of course, I tend to stick more on the local perspective because this is a local channel. This is talking about San Diego, but also what's happening in the housing market here is not going to be the same that's happening in Phoenix, Arizona, or in Las Vegas, or in Orlando, Florida. All those markets are going to be different. But of course, we are affected by macroeconomic factors. So more and more people are calling for a recession coming up, a severe recession. I think the stock market has a chance to get hit pretty hard. And what the most vulnerable sector is going to be the tech sector because they've seen the most growth over the last 5 years out of all the different sectors. So when we're looking at all of this and we're looking at the Federal Reserve with their aggressive rate hikes after rate hikes after rate hikes, we're also starting to see more people calling out the Fed and saying they were being too aggressive with the rate hikes. And that's exactly what led us to where we are today. So let's bring all this together while I tell you a little story about some clients of mine that we submitted an offer on a property yesterday. We found this house. They really loved this house. They had a very busy open house the first weekend, a very busy open house the second weekend, a lot of showings, a lot of agents calling and asking information and saying that they're interested in putting in an offer. And yet we're at 3 weeks and no other offers have been submitted. It's just our offer that's in right now. And I think this is very indicative of what we're seeing in the market today and what we're gonna see happen over the next 6 months. There are motivated buyers out there. Those buyers are motivated mostly out of necessity, especially compared to how many homes are for sale. And of course, we're gonna see some homes that are priced right, that are beautiful, that are staged, that are renovated, that look really nice and priced right, that are going to get a lot of demand. They're going to get multiple offers that first weekend. It's going to go over asking. That's still going to continue to happen. But we're also going to see some very nice homes sit on the market a couple of weeks while interested buyers take their time and contemplate whether this is a good investment for them, whether this home is the right fit or not. There are some houses, I think a lot of houses are going to see a lot of foot traffic, a lot of motivated buyers, but not get offers right away. And maybe not get offers exactly over asking or significantly over asking, which means over the next 6 months, we're going to see the market mostly neutral. Maybe it'll go up a little bit, maybe it'll come down a little bit. And this also means if you are a motivated buyer, if you're a motivated seller, you need a strategy to win in this market today because it's different than the market of 2 weeks ago. And if you are in need of a strategy to win in this market today, myself, the Best Life Home Team, we would love to help. You can schedule a discovery call, which is a free Zoom call with myself down below. Look forward to talking to you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.